In my 20 years career, I've been doing finance mostly. The only difference is the last 4 years, I'm using a different technology that's called a blockchain. And that's something that I do see a huge potential, which I like to show here. And hopefully you have a similar kind of concept that finance can be done differently. Before everything, I just want to use a disclaimer. Number one, we are licensed in Abu Dhabi global markets, which is in a free zone. And anything talking here is not for financial advices. So before I start with anything, so this is the thing is like, I want you to close your eyes, think about a world where all financial transactions you do daily to your friends, to your business partners, or anything on crypto, etc., are real-time and secure. And this is actually perhaps true. You already have it. Perhaps if you live in, say, in a very well-established financial center, as I came from Singapore for the last 11 years. And most of things is done instantaneously and 24/7. Financial transaction between corporate accounts, business accounts, individual accounts. But if you come to certain parts of the world, I would say 80%, unfortunately, is still using very old, probably underdeveloped infrastructures. So that's something that's how do we build this? Before I talk about this, I like to say a little bit word about myself. We are seeing this guy talking here. So I used to be a banker investor for the last 15 years and city normally in Tokyo and hedge fund family offices. That's mostly my early career. I've seen what the existing financial infrastructure has been doing for investments, for trading, for any business. And then in the last 4 years, I become more or less a dreamer and actually executioner and builder. Several companies I've tried, and currently I'm the SEO of Changer, which essentially want to build a crypto bank based out of Abu Dhabi in Europe. So before we talk about anything open finance, what are we trying to solve here? What are the pain points? I think we have 3 here. Security. And cybersecurity is probably the most crucial one. Inefficiencies. How efficient you can do it, and trust. I'll probably just use some of the numbers, which in our case is actually not so unfamiliar. Every cybersecurity on average is cost about $6 million. This is happening on a global basis. And we need almost 6 months a year to actually identify who did it or where they come from. And another 51 days, roughly 2 months, to just stop it before any further damage. So we lost about $6 billion last year. And this number is much faster. It's 4 times faster than the global GDP. So it's growing at 24% CAGR. So if you do cybersecurity on the positive side, that's a good business. So that's cybersecurity. Inefficiencies. People who do send money globally, either to your friends or to your families or to any global payments, you probably don't encounter that high cost or inefficiencies unless you're sending to countries like, for example, India, Pakistan, Africa, Latin America. On average, this costs about 5 to 7%. And this is on a global basis we're talking about. And if you're lucky, you get 1 or 2 days, get it processed, received. Otherwise, you just don't know where the money goes. How many times you've asked, where's the money? And they said, okay, this has been sent. And then you ask the other side, have you received? And no, unfortunately. And where got this stuck? No one can tell you. This is due to confidentiality. So that's kind of things we are facing still among probably 80% of countries. And 70% of the SWIFT transaction got exceptions. That's why it needs human interventions to come in and check, oh, this is a typing error, or this is whatever. They fix it. Lastly, trust. So one of the biggest banks in the US somehow built their trust over probably 50 to 100 years, and they just lost that trust in almost 2 years or 3 years. They created 3.5 million accounts without any customer authorization. They just created. And Wells Fargo, if you remember. And that's why probably Warren Buffett sold the shares about 8 to 10 years ago. On average, why the bank needs to do this? Because they have very high cost. It's not just about you don't trust the bank and the bank don't trust you. They will need a dedicated team that's called compliance to check on you that you're a real person, you're legit, you're trustable. And this costs $150 for individual customer, $1,500 to $3,000 per corporate customer. And usually it takes about 3 days to 3 months. That's the trust we are trying to solve. So what can we do differently? Open finance is more, I would say, the second stage. We can come to the next one. It's called open economy. Anything that you do to live your life, whether it's work, life, anything, that's going to be connected through the finance. So it's more than just like financial transactions. We can think about how you can do this a simple case, sending money from UAE to UK, or sending money from here to Uganda, which is very different. You probably just think, oh, how do I do it? Next, if you want to buy a property, which in Dubai, you see all these shining luxury condos, penthouses. If I cannot afford it, how do I get exposure? Buy a small piece. Can I do it? How to do it? How about you like Taylor Swift, right? You want this song. You want a small, not just for collection, any streaming revenues, you want to get a share. How do you do it? And also, of course, if you like football, a jersey by Cristiano Ronaldo signed by him, and how do you get this as an asset potentially into your portfolio? This is all about when I'm talking about blockchain can offer such a tremendous, very efficient and open infrastructure. So security, no matter what you heard on the blockchain hacks, this is much lower than traditional finance. We're talking about 0.1% to maximum 1% of transactions globally. And traditional finance is 10 to 15%. And that's only reported. Efficiencies, we don't need to argue. If you send the money, no matter it's $10 or $10 billion from here to New York through the stablecoin rails, it costs the same thing and it's real time. It doesn't matter. Trust. This is something that we're building and actually is in the developing stage. We're thinking about how you can trust your bank and how the bank can trust you. I'm using 2 examples. Do you look at your bank statement each month when they send it you? Do you calculate how much fees up to 2 decimal points, are they correct or not? Anyone do your bank statement checks each monthly, credit card? If not, give a check randomly and you will find a lot of surprises. That's the trust we need to build. Secondly, how do the bank trust us? An ID that is digitalized and carry across no matter where you live in UAE, Singapore, Hong Kong, or you live in Thailand, Latin America. So this is one of the cases that's already been done on the national levels. This is just a global transfer using stablecoins, CBDCs. Managed to cut the time dramatically and the cost by 50%. There's still much more potentials. And second case, we've all seen this, what has been happening in the real estate market here in Dubai. Tokenization is definitely going to take more. Number one, it's not just about a concept. It's not just about the news. It will be about how new generations, our children, are going to buy real estate. So give a little bit of a discussion about ourselves. So we provide services that you can think about on the finance industry. So custody is basically do deposit withdrawals, and conversion is you do exchanges. Fiat, cryptos, that's what we do. Payments is something that we are planning to launch with a license, hopefully. Investments also in the pipelines. And later we want to facilitate global trade finance, which UAE stands a unique position. And this is a little bit about ourselves, why we are so passionate and why we are so confident to do this. So Changer, we are unique in 3 types. Number one, we are licensed by ADGM. So if you think about whatever you treat your money, safety is number one. You don't think about return, you think about safety first. So because we are licensed bank, we follow probably the most rigorous regulatory framework and the process over there. Second, if you have any concerns, questions, or system issues, you can reach to us 24/7. Our customer cares, so that's what we help to achieve your best experience. Number three, people talk about if this happens, if that happens. The most recent hacks at one of the top 3 crypto exchanges lost $1.4 billion. What happens? If you're lucky, that's this company basically have a much deeper wallet to pay you back. Some crypto exchanges don't. They just walk away. And due to no license, there's no regulatory protections. Second, there's no insurance. So that's something that we're different. We have insurance to protect. In case of anything happens, it won't come out from our financial capitals. It will come from the insurance. So that's about us. Changer, scan this if you want to reach to us, and I'm happy to take any questions you have.